Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request from Devon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, video games, I already said pretty much anything. PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a Cash app as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now this is for Operation Condor, which, depending on how you view it, you either put 1991 because that's when it came out originally, or 1997 because that's when the US version came out. So I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm probably going to put 1997 because that's the version I prefer. That's the version I grew up with. That's the version I'm nostalgic for. Now, a little bit of backstory. Operation Condor is technically a sequel. Which is what they did was, you had Armour of God with Jackie Chan. That was the film where Jackie missed grabbing something, fell, hit his head, almost died, and to this day has a bit of a hole in his head. And at the end of the film, he has the fights with the strong Amazonian type of women, and yeah, I don't mind that film. Pretty good ending. And then Jackie did a sequel called Armour of God II, Operation Condor, which was this film. But then, in the US, when either New Line Cinema or Dimension Films were getting Jackie Chan movies, because New Line Cinema released Rumble in the Bronx, that was a nice surprise hit. So now, one's getting Jackie Chan's first strike, one's getting this, one's getting that. Dimension are getting stuff. I think they got Super Cop, and then they got this film. They cut some stuff. Jackie Chan dubbed his own voice, English voice. They had like a new musical soundtrack and released it in theaters. And this is when I was really getting into Jackie Chan stuff. This is when I first heard about Jackie Chan, because I didn't know about his Hong Kong stuff till much later in life. But instead of grabbing Armour of God, they grabbed the sequel and they just called it Operation Condor. Now, the first Jackie Chan film I saw was Rumble in the Bronx. I remember on TV them talking about how this is the last action hero and this is a guy who does his own stunts, and I'm like, wow, it was a program on ABC. I'm like, wow, okay, this is cool. This guy's doing his own stunts and these great death-defying stunts. And Rumble in the Bronx I did not get to see in theater, but I saw on VHS and was really impressed. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. It's funny. The stunts are crazy. That one scene alone where he's like avoiding the pinball arcade machines and going through the carts, and it just quick and fast and just dangerous. And I was hooked. And then the next one I saw was Super Cop. Really enjoy that film. Jackie Chan's first strike, and then this came about. Now I always go back as to which is my favorite. Rumble in the Bronx, because that was the first one I saw, or this one. A lot of times I lean towards this one because I think it has some incredible action sequences. I like the Indiana Jones flavor to it, which I think it has more of that in this than Armour of God did, and I do prefer this, so I would say this is a sequel I liked more than the original, because I think Jackie Chan really pushed the action, the spectacle, the finale in the base, where he's utilizing Vince. He's on this like teeter-totter seesaw thing, and he's on these tall cylinders almost falling down, and then you have the whole air vent, the shaft, the big fan, the big tunnel, and being blown about, and Superman. That stuff, that is still my favorite finale, third act I should say, of any Jackie Chan movie. Because he literally just built himself a playground that felt dangerous, that was very risky, and I thought it had some really good pacing, stunt work. I like some of the comedy involved. To this day, still my favorite finale in any Jackie Chan film. Now, like I said, this was the Dimension Films releasing this. So they took Armour of God II, Operation Condor, and they deleted about 18 minutes, give or take, of footage. And then Jackie Chan did his own dubbing, like he did in Super Cop and such, for the English track. They redubbed the other voices. Again, they did the music. So sometimes the music has this weird, like, guitar. Do. The idea, maybe because I'm just so nostalgic, I'm used to it, while other people will be flabbergasted about it. But this is my preferred version, because I've seen the original version, and the only thing I don't like is there's little action pieces in the original version that they took out of here. And that's the one thing you should never do with a Jackie Chan film, is take out action pieces. So in the third act, like when they have the big fan, there's a bit where one guy tells the other guy, "Hold Jackie Chan, I'm getting the door." And Jackie Chan's like pushing him and twirling around to close the door back up. Or there's a first attempt to do a Superman and he falls. And he gets back up and does it again. And then successful. Like his first attempt. So there's little bits in there that are cut that I wish weren't. But also, I've seen the original version once. There's some pacing issues that I don't think really needed to be there. That I just didn't really help the film, in my opinion. I do think the Dimension Films is a much faster paced movie. And I know dubbing is an issue, and don't get me wrong, there's some laughable parts of dubbing, especially with some of the secondary characters. But I much, much prefer Jackie Chan doing the dub of his own voice. And that's my primary reason why I like the Dimension version more, is because it's Jackie Chan's actual voice. And I'll get to the film specifically and the plot. So 7 minutes a bit. What the fuck the plot of the movie? So I mean, I'll get to that. It's just I'm spitballing here. I wish that I'll get to that later. I'll make a point. Let me get to the plot. The plot of the film is Jackie Chan is an explorer, a little bit like Indiana Jones, and I'm not sure if they say in the film, but his nickname is Asian Hawk. But like a lot of these movies, he's called Jackie, at least the American versions. And the very beginning of the movie, he has his parachute with a fan on it, which I thought was a cool device. And he tries to get some treasure, these emeralds, and the tribesmen are like, yeah, go ahead. Sure, why not? Okay, cool. I love Jacky's, with his English dub, "For me? This for me?" Okay, like just how surprised he is by it. And he gets the treasure, but his mistake is that he gets the holy water. And the guy's like, "Why do you have to do that? Now you have to marry one of them." He's like, "No, I'm not," and escapes. And he makes this neat, crazy, like a hamster ball, but it's like a foam plastic ball. He's the boy in the plastic bubble. And he rolls down the hill and stuff. Looks like a fun ride as long as you don't die, but it kind of looks like a fun ride to be in one of those things. But then Sally loses the treasure, and he goes, "Man, all that for nothing." But the main gist of the plot is there's a secret German base in the Sahara Desert that more than likely has this gold that's been there since World War II. So he goes with this lady And then eventually they are joined by this girl named Elsa, whose grandfather was one of the people that was at that base. And the three of them go on this journey to the Sahara Desert to find this gold. And they get into all sorts of trouble with people wanting to kidnap them, or they have a tea, they want the tea. All these little troubles happen, and you get some pretty cool action sequences up until you get to the base in the third act, the finale. Now, before I get to what I was saying earlier, this is one of those films that I find a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of fun. Even the humor didn't bother me. I thought the humor was rather funny at times. All the little details Jackie Chan does. He's got the control because he's the director, he's the star of the film. So all the little details, like when he's searching around, he's got a flashlight. When someone's coming, he kind of almost swallows the flashlight. So you kind of see it almost glistening by his cheek where he's hiding. Little details like that. When an action scene happens, it's very brisk, very detailed in choreography. So whether it be kicks or leg sweeps. This little scuffle where people try to get this girl Elsa and Jackie Chan's fighting them. It even dives over the guy and flips the rug up, grabs the gun and gets the guy. Don't move. Just really good timing on some of these little, even just these little action set pieces, really good timing in their choreography. Very fast. The humor, like grabbing the girl's towel and using her naked body as a distraction while he hits a guy and leg sweeps another guy. There's the action scene, which I think is a very well done one, which is this motorcycle chase where bad guys are chasing him. And he's going through here and there. He's maneuvering up over this way and driving through paintings. And they get to his warehouse. And he's got to get off the motorcycle. And he's getting on the boxes. And the cars are barely missing him. And he gets on top. And a car flies up. And he does this thing where he takes the rail and he flips himself. And as he flips, the car narrowly misses him. So he like flips up and the car... Again, some really good close calls and just crazy stunts. They go, oh shit, that reaction. Even when he's driving off the pier and he jumps and he grabs the box that's held by these ropes. And nice wide shots, and they repeat certain shots. You really get the full effect of how crazy and dangerous this stunt was. Gives a nice exclamation point to it. I didn't mind the ladies. I didn't find them annoying. The way Jackie Chan messes with them. Oh, there's no one there. African vampires, they don't like Chinese blood. And Jackie's like, pretending like he's got fangs to make fun of her. Or when the bad guys get them. And Jackie's like, stop hitting me. Start hitting her. And she's like, what? Like, that was funny. Using even the women's bodies as weapons. So, like, a bad guy's got her, and Jackie uses her elbows to hit the guy that's behind her. Or Elsa, who had the towel taken from her earlier. She now sees the other lady has a towel and looks at Jackie and goes, hey, let's do that again. So she does it, but then Jackie just looks at her. Oh, wow. And then Elsa's like, why do you just stare at her? What? I didn't, well, I don't know. So again, the comedy I thought was pretty funny. The action scenes and fight scenes when they happen are very, again, well choreographed. It felt like a bigger picture. And if I understand, this was a very expensive project at the time. I don't know. I heard it was the biggest budget Hong Kong film at the time. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. At least at the time, it was most expensive. I don't know if it did well in Hong Kong, but pretty much the idea they deal with bad guys here and there. There's this bit where this guy that owns the place they're staying at is like, I got you a gun, give me money. Okay, here you go. What are you doing? Hey, you pay me? Gun's yours. Good deal. So the girl Elsa's trying to shoot, but she doesn't know how to shoot, so she shoots the whole fucking place up, and the bad guys are so scared of her, they jump out the window. And then when Jackie comes out, he's like, nice job. Again, it has a very fun, consistent tone to it. It never goes, again, the dimension cut, it never goes too far without having an action sequence in there. That's why I don't mind the pacing of the Dimension Films version. And in the third act, okay, before that, they go along their journey, they meet another girl who has this, like, pet scorpion, who doesn't last too long in the movie. And a lot of, funny little bits, like Jackie pretending like he got stung by the scorpion and poison to fake his death, so the bad guys, at one point, leave him alone. There's a bit where he's got to save some of these girls from the slave market, so he's got to pretend to bid, and this little action sequence occurs. There's some funny gags in that sequence. And then when they get to the base, there's these local tribesmen that try to kill him with spears, and one almost hits Jackie right here. But they finally make it to their destination. And like I said, that third act alone sells the movie for me. When the bad guys are hitting Jackie and the back and forth, really quick kicks and punches, using the air vents, even at one point, like this pallet, to avoid some bad guys. This wide shot where, again, they're on these like teeter-totter things, and he's got to balance himself so he doesn't fall over. He's fighting the bad guys, and then they all realize that the stuff below them is electrical and could fry them. So they all get scared, and they all climb down, because they all realize, hey, this is the wrong place to fight. Or there's this big cylinder that they're fighting, and Jackie's like trying to maneuver so he doesn't fall. And one of the coolest stunts I ever saw, I mean, it may not seem much, but to me it looks crazy, is there's a bit where Jackie's trapped. He's on the ground, and there's this thing coming down, and he kicks the guy off, and he moves his face so it goes, like the way even with the camera, is like the sound of it, like just shaves his face. He's like, ever since I saw that as a kid, I went, oh my god, that is like for some reason, that's like the scariest stunt. One of the scariest stunts I've seen Jackie do. Because you just see how close it comes to his face, and just one wrong move, or if they fucked up, or if he's in the wrong position, or if you stay there, but if you move a little bit this way, it's pretty much seems like it'll cut your fucking head off, or cut your face off, or something. So maybe they did it in a much safer way than I'm making out to be, but it looks pretty fucking dangerous. So that moment always got me. Or the funny moment where the missile falls and rolls, and it's like they all freeze. I mean, as if that's going to stop from it blowing up if it does, but they're all scared, and the missile, and it doesn't blow up. And then they start fighting back again. Even the girls, they get on it, and they have these helmets, and they all fight this guy at the same time, and some goofy humor, but it's fitting for a Jackie Chan film. I know that the original cut felt a bit more violent, because you saw more of the bad guys killing innocent people, which, I mean, they do in the movie, but you see it more as an aftermath. I think in the original cut, you definitely see more of them killing, mowing down innocent people. So, again, I'm not sure that'd be the most consistent tone-wise with the rest of the movie, but that's up to you, I guess. Then eventually they get caught, but then something happens. Some men get trapped in this gold room. Then it's Jackie and these two guys in this big fan room. and the girls don't know what to do, so they're pressing all these buttons, and sometimes the fan is sucking them away, sometimes it's like a suction, sucking them in, and Jackie and these guys are trying to fight each other. I always thought that was such a cool motif. I thought that was a really cool sequence. Just showing how much air is being pushed against them, and them trying to maneuver, and them trying to fight each other. And one of my favorite bits where Superman, and he flies and he has his arms all the way and hits a guy. Then he tries to do it again, and one of the people changed the fan, so he's like, oh my god, I'm going to go through the fucking thing, and then it changes right back and he falls down. I mean, there's a nice mix of stunts and humor and action that just really made that work, and made it so much fun to watch when I was a kid, and still to this day. And yeah, I mean, you could talk whatever. I mean, and you'd be right about, the villains. Are the villains really the most memorable? Is the dubbing really the best? No. But yeah, I always thought it was a lot of fun. Very action-packed. The comedy worked fairly well for me. Yeah, I love the location of the secret base. Kind of reminds me of a more comedic version of Eastern Condors, which that's another film I really enjoyed, because that finale also took place on a base, this secret like base, hidden base. So again, Eastern Condor is like the more serious action version. This is more the comedic version. Now, before I go on, I do wish that there was a version out there to buy that was the Dimension Films version, or at least you could keep the extended cut, but I wish there was a version where they could plug in Jackie's dialogue, like his English dialogue. I think that would have been cool to see, because I looked up like 88 Films and others. They've released some versions of Operation Condor, but it's either the Cantonese version, or if they say it's an English dub, it's the original English dub, where I think it's the same guy that dubbed him in English in Police Story and Police Story 2. So they'll say English dub, but it's not the Jackie Chan Dimension version. And I wish there was a version to, or even like a fan cut. I wish there was a fan cut that, okay, you want to keep the longer version, that's fine. Because there's stuff in there I wish was kept in the Dimension Films version, which I'll get to, but I just prefer Jackie's actual voice. It would take a lot of work, but I wish there was a way to plug his voice into those scenes. That's just me, though. Now, in the original versions, some stuff that was in there that's not in the Dimension Films version that I wish it was. Again, in the third act, there's a couple scenes of little extended action beats. I mentioned when they're in the fan room. There's a bit where one's trying to go for the door and Jackie's stopping him, and even does his little roll to turn the wheel, the valve of the door to keep it shut so the bad guys don't leave. Again, I don't know why you would cut any action out of a Jackie Chan film, but still. I wish that was put into the Dimension Films version. I mean, there's a bit where he tries to do the Superman thing once and he fails. And then it goes to him doing it again and succeeds. There's a extended comedy bit in the original version in the fan room where Jackie and the bad guy kind of looking at each other head to head. And there's this wide shot where their legs keep going like this, but their heads are like this, but their legs are going like this. And they're kind of staring each other down. I thought that was a funny bit. I wish that was kept in the Dimension Films version. And also a bit that was in the trailer. And it's in the original version. And what's funny, okay, if you watch the trailer, there's a bit where someone goes, "Had enough?" And Jackie goes, "Ha ha ha ha." No. That's not in the Dimension Films version. But in a trailer, it sounds like Jackie's voice saying no. But then if you watch the original version, Jackie does the laugh, and then it's either the Cantonese version, which I don't even think that's his voice, or the English dub, which is not Jackie's voice, just another guy doing his English dub. So it's weird for that trailer. It sounded like Jackie did that, but then it's not in the movie. So I mean, that's the weird thing about it. Unless they had him do the whole movie, and then after that they edited it because they didn't want to show him a truncated version of his own film. It's like, here's the version, do all of it. Okay, we got his voice, now just edit the way we want to. Unless they did it that way, which maybe they did. Just maybe they said, we don't know what to edit, have him do the whole movie, then once he's done, we'll edit it the way we'll... I mean, if they did that, that means there must be a version out there in some vault where he did all the work. I don't know. I wish there was a combination of the two. But if you did any 88 films, the Shout Factory, any of those, none of them have the Jackie Chan dub. And none of them have the Dimension Films version. And the Dimension Films version, that's out of print. That's completely out. It's even hard to find that version online. It's very hard to find the... Because if you try to find it online, you only have the Hong Kong version. It's very hard to find the Dimension Films version with Jackie Chan's voice. So, just most people go, oh, I don't want that version. Oh yeah, but I want Jackie's voice. I mean, that's one of my only issues with Police Story 1 and 2. I wish there was a version where it's Jackie's actual voice, because it's hard for me to go back and listen and watch Jackie and not hear his voice come out of his mouth. That's just how I am. I just grew up with that. I'm used to that. That's what I prefer. So anyway, if anyone ever does a fan version, it could be like the longer version, but then as Jackie's voice, let me know. I'll watch it, man. But I don't think anyone's ever going to do that. But anyway, I know that's me going a bit too long on that. But even with the American versions of these, you tell these films were making less and less money, because I do remember this film making less money than Super Cop and Rumble in the Bronx did in the US. And Dimension, I don't think they worked with Jackie too much longer with other films being released. Or if they did, they went more like direct to video. I think Armour of God II. No, they did release, I think, Operation Condor 2, Armour of God in the US, like direct to video. Technically, it's weird. It's Armour of God, and then Armour of God 2, Operation Condor. But here it's Operation Condor, and then Operation Condor 2, Armour of God. It would technically be a prequel. It's all needlessly confusing. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the humor is really funny. I think a lot of the action scenes are really good. The dubbing, from the other secondary characters, I just chuckle and laugh at. There's a charm to it that I don't mind. That I'm sure would bother the purists, but I don't mind it. I just wish some of the action extended bits in the extended cut was put back into the Dimension versions. And I had to watch my copy on like DVD. Just couldn't find it on fucking... I don't have the Blu-ray. It's out of print and shit. But... And I know like the 88 Films version, there's like, there's a hybrid cut. But that's not Jackie Chan's voice. It's Cantonese and then the original English dub of the guy that's not Jackie, that mixed in there. I'm like, okay, why can't you do one with Jackie's actual voice? Like, you're taking the time. I don't understand that. You're taking the time to do the not Jackie voice. Is it because they can't get, I guess they can't get that version? I guess technically Dimension Films would own, even though it's Jackie's voice? I don't know. I guess because it's linked to that Dimension version, They don't have the rights to that one. I guess. I don't fucking know anymore. But anyway. But yeah, I love the, like I said, I love the finale. I love the stuff with the fan. It's one of my favorite sequences of any Jackie Chan film. Always did a kick out of it. Always have a lot of laughs and fun out of it. So there you go. Operation Condor. Probably my favorite Jackie Chan film. Again, I love the Indiana Jones feel to it. I love the adventure quality aspect to it. And the stunts still hold up. And the fight scenes still hold up fairly well. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.